Oh, there we go. It's coming. The challenge is you do have to commit to one idea. I have been walking around trying to make sure, because there is certain problems in the Bahamas that many of you have identified. And so I may gently nudge you into a different direction if a few of you have gone after the same problem. And it just says, it's not that you can't all build for the same thing, it just will be less fun than if, that's why you all have like 2 or 3 on the list. Just pick a different one for today. You can go toe to toe, like, I'll beat you down with my idea is better, but I don't want that so much. So we're going to, so as we walk around, we might nudge you in one direction or another. It's not that the idea isn't good, it's just we want diversity. We want to make sure you have an opportunity to build a unique idea. So here, who it's for, so this, hopefully you did this. I wrote down the who. Who is it for? This is critical. When you build an AI system, you must be thinking through the eyes of the user. This will also help you tell an AI what to do, what problem it solves, and the simplest version you can build today. That's your minimum remarkable product. So if you, now, I think I identified the person with the longest hair as being the documenter. And being a note taker is not super awesome, so I am now granting you are the captain, right? Oh, now documenting is not so bad. Hopefully you didn't give it away. So you are now gonna be the captain, which means you will have the opportunity to decide who will speak on your team's behalf. Oh, I love long-haired people. Anyway, I'm a little biased. Someone will have to speak on your team's behalf. I say this now so you can not be mad at me in a few minutes when we get to the next thing. So judges will be rewarding applications that work, that do the thing. So your goal is to shrink the scope to the point where it works. It is not about you explaining to me what would happen if it did work, it's if it actually works. Everyone can build a working app today. It is a function of scope. How big is the adventure you chose to go on today? So what we are going to do now is I'm going to demonstrate for you a couple of, where is my mouse? Oh, there we go. We're going to demonstrate a couple of tools. The first thing, these are a couple of guidance as we get into the tool set. I'm giving you 2 tools. You don't ever have to use these tools again. These CEOs of these companies gave us access to these tools to use for free. I'm going to request that, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Every time I do this, they might have fixed it by now. But what will end up happening is I'm going to ask the front row, thank you for sitting there. It's the hardest row to fill in an event. So the front row is going to sign up first. If you are not in the front row and you choose to sign up, there is a cybersecurity attack called denial of service. Do you know this attack? It's called DDoS. So we will accidentally trigger a DDoS attack on this service. So we have to pace ourselves. I did tell the team we were doing it. I told them to prepare. So maybe it won't happen, but we're gonna try and pace ourselves just in case. So once you're in this tool that I'm gonna share with you, you need to save early and often. That means that when you're in the tool, you're gonna be writing text, and if the network goes out, if the browser crashes, you will lose all of your work. So you need to make sure you're saving it. Use your mentors. Every time, if you get stuck, this is not a time to be like, I'm just gonna sit here because I don't know. Just ask somebody. You can even ask a teammate or another team for help, but definitely ask us. We'll be walking around. Build a single core feature first. You might have a bunch that you can get to, but get one. Remember, you don't get to play unless it's working, so get one thing working and then go back and add the other features. And that way you can maybe build one feature and get 3 or 4 more started, and you can talk to them during your demo, but if you don't have one working, you don't get to play. So I cannot stress that enough. And then, of course, your pitch. So it's a 3-minute pitch. I'll give you more guidance on this when we get to it. It's not hard. Literally, I used to call it a demo, not a pitch. You just spent a bunch of time thinking about the problem. You are now gonna spend some time building the problem. Whoever gets on stage, and you all are welcome up here when your team comes up. And And not every team will present. Some of you might find that a relief, but not every team will present. We will be walking around and assessing teams, but every team will speak. You just, not all will need to do it in front of everyone. You'll just, like asking a question. I'll just hand you a mic and be like, just speak up a little bit, and tell your story about how you built it and your experiences. So not every team will have to get up here. We're gonna pick about 7 teams to be part of the semifinals. If you get that opportunity, you will have 3 minutes here. We'll have 1 minute to ask you 1 or 2 questions, clarifying questions for the judges, and then we will pick the winners. We have multiple categories to win, that you can win today. They are not hierarchical, so it's not like first, second, third. They are for different qualities. So there is an opportunity for everyone. It's not like you're not ranked against each other. You will be ranked against the type of solution that we are looking for. I showed it to you earlier, but I don't want you to get too distracted by winning a trophy. I would be, because I like trophies. I literally was like, did I get a trophy? Did you make a trophy for me? Because I feel like I should get a trophy. Maybe you'll share it with me. Oh, I'll just take a picture with y'all when you win. Okay, that's cool. So we are going to go through 2 different build tools. One is called chatbotbuilder.ai. For the builders in this front row, you can go to this location right now. It is a free account. You're gonna go to chatbotbuilder.ai and you're going to sign in. Now, what this allows you to do, it sounds like a chatbot builder. However, it is way more than that. And the reason I'm encouraging you to use it is because it comes with a bunch of tools that will expedite your development. Not all of you will need it, but I'd encourage all of you to create a free account. In this, you will get a ChatGPT environment with 3 million tokens that you can use to solve this problem, which is plenty. You will not, I shouldn't say that. I could dare some of you and you probably can consume 3 million tokens in a couple hours, but it should not, I've not really had that happen, so unless you're trying. So every one of your problems can be solved within that limit. And that's our goal, is what can we build for free without having to buy a license? If you have a license to ChatGPT or Claude and you want to use that tool, you are welcome to use it. This is just a different tool. And I would also say, if you already have Claude or ChatGPT, I would use this tool anyway, just to add to your portfolio of tools. There's another one called Pay Me GPT. Now, the reason this tool was created was because, I don't know if you remember, over the last year or so, people were just building little AI models, wrapping them up, sticking on a website, and selling it to people. Billions of dollars have been transacted in this way, meaning you build a very small application, you charge $1, $7, $14, and you make it available to people. And if it's valuable and solves their problem from their perspective, they will pay you $7 for it, or $3, whatever, $1. You can also use it to raise money for a cause. It's pretty cool. But the idea is that you can build it, because remember, if we talk about what we said earlier, what makes these models special is that you're not consuming a generic model. You are building a custom trained model to solve a very specific solution for a very specific person who will pay for that to be solved. Maybe they pay for it, what we call B2C, business to consumer, or maybe a business or a government's like, ooh, we should get that and give it to our residents. Either way, it is monetized. That's what we mean when we say that, is that someone actually is paying for the use. So this process of creating a custom retrieval augmented system of data that changes the behavior of the model, that is what people pay for. And so that's what we're going to all be focusing on. That's the instructions I gave you. So Pay Me GPT is for the development of generative models that you ultimately expect to sell. So that means that as opposed to conversational AI assistants, this is more like you want to support, you go to like the, Department of Health, and you want to build an agent that would help people who are trying to work with the Department of Health work better. That would be an agent that would sit on the Department of Health that you can simulate today using that platform. The other might be, I want to build a model that provides a dashboard allowing people to see, how well their kids are doing in school, right? And you could use Pay Me GPT, because I, as a parent of 6 children, would pay you. I mean, I paid for ABC Mouse. Y'all remember ABC? Some of you, right? I paid a lot. Like, I think I paid $39. And I could vibe code that today. Like, anyway, and what I would do is I would vibe code it, but I would make it accessible. I wouldn't charge crazy dollars. I would be like, $5, you know? What would you lose in the laundry? Charge that. So anyway, so Pay Me GPT is for building agents you want to monetize. These are just tools. They're meant to introduce you to, and the reason I like them is the CEO, unlike most AI CEOs, has given you an opportunity to use it for free. Now, the benefit of this is that you get to use the paid version for free. You can use a free version of ChatGPT, but it's not the same version that paid people get. It's a different version, right? And so rather than use a smaller version of a big model, I'd rather use a big model for a small period of time. So that's why these 2 platforms were chosen. And then at the end, when you've all built, using one of these capabilities, when you've all built, I will then ask you to generate a prompt in Lovable. Now, you can use ChatGPT for this, but when I say ChatGPT from now on, I'm speaking like you could just go to ChatGPT on a website and just ask it a question. You could do that. That's free. It's a free account. It'll be good for planning, but it's not good for executing. All right, so these are the tools. So before we get going, and as you begin to start building, first thing, row number 1, did you go and do the thing? Were you able to get access to that model? Did you sign in, get account? It should take you to like a login screen. And yeah, Chatbot Builder. Yeah, so I'll just stare at you until you do it. I tried to do it like, just do it, I'll come back to you, but now I'll just do you. Just let me know. And then once a few of you have it, 1 per team really, you're good? All right, you're in. It takes you to like a web chat screen. Okay, perfect. You're almost there. It doesn't take long. All right, so 1 per team. We might get away with this. So, what? You want to do Pay Me? You can. I would do them both. So go into chatbotbuilder.ai, 1 per team. All right. So eventually you all can do it. Like, everyone's welcome. It's just in order for us to continue, at least 1 has to be set up on everybody's team. So, and before we trigger the security warnings on this company's firewall. All right. All right. So everyone, captains of every team, please raise your hand. Longest hair. Oh, that's the longest hair. Okay. All right. What is happening right now? Y'all violated the rules. Right? Longest hair. Okay. Okay. What I meant was whatever hair length is yours. Okay. So captains, you are the one who will, it doesn't have to be your computer, but you are the one, when you have signed in to chatbotbuilder.ai and you get to the web chat screen, please raise your hand, and I apologize. Like, you can make it low, but like, I need you to keep it up once you have it up, once you're done. You guys are done. You're done? You're done? Awesome. How are you all doing? Not yet? You're getting there? I think you're there. Oh, almost there. All right. You didn't? Because we're in the Bahamas. Is that right? No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to come look. I'm coming to look. No, I just got in, so I just tested it.
I got on the site, and then I'm going to press OK.
Yeah, what does it say? Yeah, see, that's because y'all didn't follow instructions. That's all right. But everyone who went and did that proactively, like so basically it's like you can only have 30 people access this at one time. That's all right. That just means you have to wait 60 seconds and then you try again. Just keep the window up. If you saw an error when you tried to join, keep the window up and just hit refresh about 60 seconds. You're in. You're in. I will go around and see. You're in. All right. 1 person. You only need 1. Yes.
Just for clarity, we heard 2 instructions.
2 tools.
No, the first instruction was the first line only. The first row does it.
Oh, yeah, and they did it.
Okay. And so now can we do it?
Now the team captains were supposed to pick 1 person on the team to do it.
Okay. All right.
Did
so
you
the
did
is yes, we can
1 person on your
choose
team?
one of those, or just choose chat.
I would just do chat.
Do chat.
Did anyone do it yet?
No, we were waiting.
Okay. Yeah, so who is the captain?
Long hair.
You see what just happened there?
No, she's
All right.
instructing me to speak, but she's the captain.
Yeah. Okay.
The captain instructs.
All right, perfect. So yeah, you logged in. That's right. All right, cool. How's it going? Someone's in. Someone's in over here? You got access? I'm gonna come look, give me that look like I don't know. You just walk around. All right, that looks good. Welcome back. Oh, welcome back. What does that mean? You been in here before? Yeah, it just says welcome back like it knows you. Oh, all right. All right, cool. All right, one of you can be in. Are you in? Yeah, so just hit login, or I'm sorry, hit sign up. Yeah, so now it's gonna be like, you can only do 30 because a bunch of us hit it, so just wait and then refresh it. All right, y'all look good. Okay, it's looking good. So just keep that window open. If you got an error, if you read the second error message, once you hit okay, it'll say, too many people tried to hit this server at the same time. It's fine. It's not a bad thing. I just feel bad for the administrator who got the email that said, someone's attacking our system. Nobody's attacking. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. I think I'm gonna hit sign up. Oh, I'm not on that screen. Oh yeah, see, now I'm getting the same error. Yeah, 30 requests every 60 seconds, it's fine. All right, hold on. I'm just gonna try and display. Keep going, keep trying. All right. There we go. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so let me see if I can simulate this for you. All right, so some of you would have gotten this weird error. And then when you get to okay, it will tell you, you broke it. You can only have 30 requests in every 60 seconds, which means we're all doing the same thing at the same time, which is fine. So it just means you're just gonna hang out here for a minute, literally, 60 seconds, 2 minutes, just wait. And I mean, a bunch of you are already in, so just wait. Eventually, you'll refresh it. Eventually, all of you will be in there, but only one person needs it per team. So there we go. So I just refreshed it and I'm in. So I waited less than a minute. All right, so if you are on this screen, this is the first part. We are gonna build, and again, it doesn't matter what the app is yet. I just wanna show you the process for creating. So this says we are going to deploy this conversational app on a website, which might be true. And so this name is like your team name, or you can name it whatever you want. I'm gonna name it Russell Robot. I love it. This is just the account name. It's not going to show up anywhere. Just the name of the account. So once that happens, you can see a little clearer on the screen. So hopefully you're with me. All right, once that happens, you are now in your account. You with me, everyone? Good? Rolling right through. You will now be going over in the menu. You'll be scrolling down to what is called settings. So click on settings. If you haven't gotten in yet, don't worry, just refresh. We'll walk around and help you. It'll get there. So I clicked on settings, and now these settings will be how we configure the AI system for deployment. We're not going to do all of that yet. The most important thing is to go to integrations. Cool? So click on integrations as you see on the screen. You'll notice here a bunch of models. You don't get free tokens on every model. If you click on a model like, let's say I want to use Gemini, it's going to ask you to connect to your model, meaning your tokens, your money. So the only model that's pre-populated with 3 million tokens for your use is ChatGPT. And so here, instead of connect, you will see edit. If you choose disconnect, do not choose that. If you choose that, those tokens are gone. Gone. You cannot reconnect to it. You cannot get them back. It is a gift to you right now. And if you choose to give that gift back, you will not get it again. So you'd have to create a new account, basically. So do not disconnect it. You're instead going to choose to edit it. So what you are doing is you are configuring an AI model. This is how we become a producer, right? So we are going to produce this AI system to satisfy the problem statement we have come up with. And what you're doing is, for those of you, there's about 80% of you that can use this for your solution. And what you're doing is you want to train the model, remember RAG, retrieval, you're going to train it on some data, and then you're going to tell the model how to either teach someone something, how to ask them questions, how to navigate a menu, how to order something, how to schedule an appointment. All of that is available here. It's a concierge-like service. So if you're building anything like a concierge, coach, conversational assistant, customer service, anything in that area, you'll want to use this platform. Okay, now you'll notice here, the only thing we have, and actually maybe I'll do it here instead of on the whiteboard, you'll notice here we have 3 million. Now this is not the same as the tokens. This is characters in which to describe to the model how it should behave. Most organizations have 1 to 5 sentences. You have 3 million characters. That's a lot of text. So I'm going to encourage you to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 40,000 characters in order to come up with a good option. So I'm just expanding it out. This is our instruction set. This is what is known as prompt engineering or context engineering. So in 5 minutes, you will all be able to update your LinkedIn and be like, I am a prompt engineer. And your value will go up like 60 grand, like that. All right, you're welcome. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Let me grab this. Oh no, I was gonna do it. Oh yeah, I have to write it because I can't type and hold the mic. Oh, what? Technology today. Am I supposed to like just? Thank you, thank you. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness, there we go. All right, here we go. So there are lots of prompting techniques in order for you to produce an outcome from a model. The first prompting technique is called the 5 P's of prompt engineering. You might want to write this down in a separate location. The first P stands for purpose. You are going to want to write to the model, this is your purpose. Go to ChatGPT. If you are not good at writing purpose statements, if you do not know your own life purpose, go to ChatGPT and be like, help me take my statement you've already written, right? You're not going to ChatGPT and telling it to define your life purpose. You're gonna go and say, here is the purpose statement I wrote. Here's what you documented over lunch. And you're gonna ask it to write it as a system prompt. And then ChatGPT will make it all pretty for you and make it formalized so a model will understand it. I didn't do anything. Okay. Okay, so that's the purpose statement. And so what I will do, let's just head on over. ChatGPT and I aren't good friends like we used to be, but it used to be in my little quick draw section, but no longer. ChatGPT, chat, dot, OpenAI. Let's see. Oh, look, I'm in. All right. So you could see here, now it did log me into my environment, but you can do this for free. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to say, so for example, I'm vibe coding my way to this platform. So I'll say, help me write a system, let me make this bigger, sorry. System prompt. And you can use ChatGPT in your own environment, like it's free, you won't have to sign up for it. Help me write and you can use Copilot, any LLM will do, to write a system prompt based on this. And then you would write whatever you wrote in your homework, the thing you wrote, right? Your project and problem description. For me, I don't have that. So instead, I will, let's see if it works. I will use my, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong with this microphone, fans. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm like too close to something. Anyway, I don't want it to annoy people. Okay. Thank you. Write me a system. Okay, so I'm going to just turn on the microphone and dictate. Now I could use conversational mode, but then I don't get to see what it writes. So I'm going to use dictation instead. So let's see. Help me write a system prompt based. Oh boy. Unable to access my mic. Wait for it. Allow. On building a platform for registering users and helping them get their ideas registered, giving them the ability to see a bunch of ideas in one location, all for the purposes of Vibathons. It's terrible. It's terrible. But look, it understood Vibathons. It sounds good. So now I'm asking it for a system prompt. However, the one thing I missed is that I want to say, help me write a purpose statement for my system prompt. Cool, I'll leave that up there if you want to make the same changes. And now I'll say, go, do your magic. So now granted, you have a thought out, I just made that up, so that was awful. But you have a thought out problem statement with who you're gonna serve, how you're gonna serve them, and the metrics you're gonna use to measure success. That's what you're putting in here. Now you can see, you are an AI assistant for a Vibathon platform designed to help participants capture, organize, and develop their ideas. Oh my gosh, yes. I wish I would have said it that way, but I didn't. And so now it has provided me some guidance. So I'm going to copy this, move it on down. Oh boy, that's a lot. Ooh, a mission statement. I don't know about all that. I'm gonna take it. So now what I'm gonna do is head back over to my settings and drop in my purpose statement. Now read it and make sure it sounds like you, but remember, the reason it sounds like you is because you will have defined the problem statement. You have said who it's for, why you're building it, who you're trying to help, etc. This is just P number 1. That's a lot, right? So this is, oh look, I double purposed. Now you don't have to put the words purpose in here, but this is telling the model what its job is, its role, and it's incredibly important. It narrows the trillions of data points it's been trained on the internet to just the problem you care about. All right, the next thing, so purpose is first. So now you get the idea, right? Go to ChatGPT, help it fully disclose and provide a little bit more color to the documentation that you're building. The next statement I'm just gonna put here so it's easy for you to see is people. You want to write a statement for who it's for. So you'll go into ChatGPT or your favorite LLM and say, help me also write a statement describing the audience for this bot, for this system, for this agent, right? So the people is the audience. Then you're going to third P, purpose, people, portfolio. You're going to give it a portfolio of data to help you solve this problem. That means you will be providing it good and bad examples. All of this is just with human language, just your words, no special engineering skills required, just a description of your work. Cool? You with me? I'm gonna give you a second. So you don't have to do it necessarily, but you can. All right, cool. All right, so now we have described to the model the purpose of our AI system. We have described who it's supposed to serve. We have also described, it's the same. Okay, never mind. Maybe it's because I'm too close to that thing. I don't know. We have described who it's going to serve, and we have gone and provided the portfolio of data, good and bad examples. The reason for this is that the AI model, if you don't tell it what good looks like, it's going to have to guess. And when it guesses, you'll call it a liar, but really it's just trying to generate an answer for you, and you didn't do your job of giving it enough data to do that correctly. So the responsibility is always ours. If we build an AI system and it fails us, it is not the system's fault. It is ours. So we need to take responsibility and actually give the information that it needs to come up with a good answer. All right, so the last, I'm gonna keep it up here. The last 3 Ps, or last 2 Ps of the 5 Ps of prompt engineering have nothing to do with the text. It has to do with your responsibility once you build the agent. So once you build this agent using these 3 Ps to describe the behavior, you then will have to create a way to be persistent. So if you're in ChatGPT or Claude and you want to go find a previous conversation, anyone know how you do that? Like what's the mechanism you use in ChatGPT? Yeah, exactly. On the side, there's a conversation history. And you have to go and like Like if you had that conversation 3 weeks ago, you're like scrolling and trying to find it and went, oh no, yeah, that looked like it, but that's not it. It's not easy. And so you want to create a mechanism for persisting conversations so you can audit them. Right now, we don't really audit our chat, like our conversations in ChatGPT, our conversations in these tools. Well, I shouldn't say that. Some people in here audit them, but most people don't. And so you want to create a mechanism for persisting those conversations so you can go back and review them at any time. So if you look up in the corner here, you'll see over here, it says inbox. In the setting or in the navigation tree, the inbox is the persistence mechanism for every conversation your system has. And being able to see that is important. If you don't have an inbox, you're gonna have to make sure the tool you're using provides you some way to persist every conversation for auditing, monitoring, and improvement. And then finally, perfection. AI is the one area where I will tell you, you must, I don't know, I feel like there's a few areas I would tell you to always strive for perfection, but there are a few times in my life where I've said, perfection is the enemy of done. Like I can't get things done if I'm always trying to make sure it's perfect. AI, you must always try to make sure it's perfect. Always be striving for perfection. That means you never are done. It never leaves your door and goes into the world and lives its own life. It's a baby tiger that never grows up. Now, for some of you who don't know the baby tiger analogy, at Microsoft, I was in charge of 17 research models, which I called them affectionately little baby tigers. It was kind of like herding cats, but not really. It was like herding tigers. And the reason I said that was because when they started using these models, they were like adorable and cool and cute, and everyone wanted to like be around them, but nobody was asking super important questions. So when you build this model, things you're gonna wanna think about. The first question when you get a little cute baby AI is how big do you think it's going to be? Most people don't ask this question, but it's a really important question, especially with baby tigers. How big is it gonna be? What is it gonna eat? And what do AI systems eat? By the way, you're so right. You almost got there. But it eats data. And so this data we're giving it. So we need to think about, right, what it's going to consume, how much data it needs, where's that data gonna come from? Also, things you should be thinking about. When you go to feed a system data, that data will either be free or it will be, like either you will buy it or you will steal it. And sometimes you'll buy data that's stolen. I know, blow your mind. So the more you ask about the data this system needs, right? Maybe, like, for example, even if you're getting data from the government, someone paid to create that data and put it there for you. So it's either purchased or it's stolen. You should be aware of what it is before you get going as your baby tiger starts to grow up. And finally, you should have an exit strategy. What happens if you build a model that's based on healthcare data and you decide you don't want to do this anymore? Where are you going to put all that data? Who's going to own it after you're done? You should have a thought process around who's going to take care of this thing long term. Because everything you build will live potentially forever. These models will store data forever. I always say you're one acquisition away from the Death Star. Do you know the Death Star? It's like the evil empire in Star Wars. Like you're one acquisition away from the evil empire coming in and being like, wow, that's pretty cool data you collected. I would like to buy that. Except they don't say, I would like to. They're like, oh, and I'm buying that. And so now what are you going to do? So in my world, we weave into the DNA, i.e. the prompting context, we weave in principled approaches to responsible use so that when a new Death Star acquisition occurs, they can't come in and just pluck it out. They'd have to go and change the DNA of the application. So think about these things as you're building. So that's the 5 Ps I will put in. Perfection. That was second. Yeah, thank you. And the fourth one was actually persistence. So you're gonna fill out all 3 of these. Now, some of you, you're not gonna be like in the mood for Ps. So I will give you another option, which is a different prompting technique that gets you to the exact same outcome, and it's called RTEC. It's a little simpler. Oopsie. RTEC. Same idea. Instead of a purpose, you're going to define the role. Instead of people, you're going to define the task. Now, I do include the people with the task, but I like designing for humans. That's just me. But these are not mine. These are industry best practices for creating better prompts than what you might be currently doing today. The E stands for examples. This is critical. You'll notice this is in both contexts. You must provide, here's what good looks like, here's what bad looks like, and at least 3 to 5 examples of each. Today, you only have to do one. And then C, my favorite, constraints. How is it going to stop doing what it's supposed to do? Oopsie, I added too many C's there, but you get the idea, right? So either option, whatever feels better to you. I lived on the 5 Ps for 3-4 years before I moved over to RTech, but now I use RTech because I'm building agents, and those agents actually are representing fractions of human work. And so I like thinking about it as like a job description, the tasks that job description covers, the examples of doing that job well or not well, right? So it's more, the agents I'm building are really tools that humans are using. And so our tech maps to that a little bit better. But if you're building an AI system that's going to satisfy, customer service or concierge services or coaching services, the 5 Ps can serve you well. But I give you both so you can make that decision for yourself. Now, if you hit the X, do not do that. But if you hit the X, you will lose all of your changes and nothing will get saved. So please say continue. My practice is to actually do this prompt engineering in a separate window altogether. Open up a Word doc, open up Notepad, and build your prompts for that. Remember, what you're doing is you're taking your problem statement that we worked on at the beginning part of the day, and you are going to write a prompt to describe to a machine how to do the thing that you asked. If you don't know how to describe it, partner with a free LLM to be like, help me think about this a little bit, right? That's the Socratic prompting. Ask an LLM to help you flesh out your idea if you don't feel like your problem statement is good enough. All right, so once you have done this work, you will now have, hopefully now if you have all gotten access to this tool. If not, definitely let us know. AI tools, we will not be doing that today, but this is an example of how you could extend the capability. For example, my Pizza Pals, right? The very first thing, I delivered that to my first pizzeria and they're like, ooh, can it do ordering? And I was like, no. But I don't need to do ordering. I can partner with Slice, which is like a third-party SaaS application that does this work for me. So Slice is an AI tool that I now can connect to offer order processing. Zendesk is an example for processing customer service tickets and requests. All right, so that is the idea. You can see there are some in here already. Document reading, image reading. Some of you might need image reading. URL context, web search, right? So these are all tools that are available. Oh my gosh, you guys are so loud. Okay, AI tools. And then I'm just gonna click on more options. You'll notice here you actually can choose the model that you want. Just be careful because you have 3 million tokens, which sounds like a lot. You will burn them way faster if you operate with a higher level model. These are still GPT models, but 4.1 nano is pretty good. For today, I would stick with it. It's moderate in its token consumption. If you use 5, nano is the cheapest way to use 5. So you can use it if you'd like. It's up to you. We have a class, which is what Omari and Chenson and the team at PBS have taken, where we teach you how to do model selection. There is a process. I don't know if you know this, but every one of those models is ranked by Stanford, which is a university. Its performance is ranked, not just how good is it at answering questions and is it accurate and precise, but it also evaluates toxicity. Is it racist? Is it sexist? Does it hurt people on purpose? These things are monitored, and there are models that are racist and sexist and hurt people on purpose. And we choose them because we don't even know. So when I go into an organization, I'm like, so why did you pick that one? And they're like, well, blah, 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 LinkedIn, blah, 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 TikTok, social media, my friend. I'm like, oh, well, let's just take a look. It's called, I'll put it up here for those of you who want to know how to do this research yourself, but it's called HELM, H-E-L-M, and it is a Stanford project holistic evaluation of language models. They have over 240 metrics that they measure these for. The benefit is that you don't have to do the test. You don't have to build the framework. You don't have to build the metrics. All you have to do is say, I want to use GPT-5. Is it sexist? Oh, it's 89% sexist. Okay, good to know. You might keep using it, but at least you know what you're dealing with. There are models, or I should say there are use cases that need models that push the edge of these bad behaviors, toxic behaviors, but usually they're used by artists and screenwriters and authors. Typically, if you're in a banking application, you don't want to build a model that's predisposed to violating laws. So, something to think about. But just so you know, we didn't pre-select that. The last thing, many of you we were talking a little bit about hallucination. Temperature is a really important, there are lots of, they're called hyperparameters. There's lots of these little levers that you can turn on a model, about 50, 60 of them. This is probably the most important for you because it determines how creative the model is in its answer. So if you are building a finance app, healthcare app, legal app, you would not want any creativity whatsoever in its response. So you would slide temperature that way, low. However, if you're building an app that's helping artists come up with ideas, helping website developers, marketers, you'd want the creativity more, but that's an intentional choice. Now, most people just leave it in the middle, and it's fine, but this is a lever you can control to determine how creative the models actually are. All right? So this is what you're gonna do. In any tool you have, this is your superpower, is prompt engineering. Either the 5 Ps of prompt engineering or, which I'll pull up, oh goodness, right? Oh, I didn't go there yet. So either the 5 Ps of prompt engineering or RTech, either one, this is what structures how you're going to tell the model what to do. What we're going to do is we are going to spend the next 30 minutes. We're going to be, of course you can use, I didn't demo Pay Me GPT, but it's very similar, just a different type of model. Every time you go in and you say create an agent, the experience is almost identical everywhere. Microsoft, Amazon, Google, NVIDIA, Anthropic, OpenAI, they all have the same process. So I'm gonna show you that really quickly just to give you hopefully some comfort that the skill set you're about to embark on is actually quite reusable. So this process right here, writing these instructions, is exactly the same thing you'll do when you create an agent on ChatGPT. So, oh goodness, I made it very large. There we go. Oh my goodness, there we go. Right? So if I go here and I'm in ChatGPT, now granted I'm in a paid platform, but I want to go build an agent and I say create an agent, it's going to ask me for exactly the same thing that ChatGPT, that environment just asked me, right? It's going to ask me for instructions. Now I am going to reduce the size of this a little bit. Oopsie. Oh, why would that be? That's so very interesting. Okay, hold on. It should be, oh, I know what happened. I know. Let me escape. Thank you. Thank you for the audience participation. Appreciate y'all. All right, there we go. All right. So granted, there's lots of templates these days, but I'm gonna start blank. And what you'll notice here is what it's gonna ask you for, right, is the name of your agent, which is the first thing we did in the platform I showed you. We're then going to be asked for instructions. 5 Ps of prompt engineering or RTech is how you inform every model what it should do. Do not use a model you did not write this for. That's the superpower. Most people don't write instructions at all. You will now write them for everything. You then will be able to, which you'll see also, you'll be able to upload files or copy in data. This is the RAG, the Retrieval Augmented Generation. So same idea. This is exactly the same thing that's true in Copilot. You build a Copilot, custom agent in Copilot, same thing. It's gonna ask you for a name and custom instructions and the data. It's all the same interface because they're building the same thing, just with different models. All right, so ChatGPT is all GPT models. You do this in Claude, same idea. If you go build a new skill in Claude, it's gonna ask you the same thing. What are you gonna name it? And what are the instructions? The problem is that the instructions are blank, no structure whatsoever. So these two structures are your options for today. All right, so the best thing to do is to start, take your problem statement, turn it into the 5 Ps or RTEC, and copy it into the system and test it. Now, all the models have different ways of testing. It's a playground. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this tool. Right, so, let me say save. If you don't say save. One more thing. Let me say edit. There was one more thing in there. Oh, no, not that one. Close. Edit. Oh, no. Cancel. Refresh. Let's see what happened. See if I accidentally hit disconnect. Did I hit disconnect? That would be so sad. Okay, let me go in. Integrations. ChatGPT. Edit. Oh, no. I hit disconnect. Did you see me do it? So edit that in post. Okay. Same idea. Oh, man. So I killed it. Okay, that's okay. I have another one. I'm going to go to a different one. Let's go to a different one. There we go. Integrations. ChatGPT. Edit. Oops. I totally hit disconnect. So don't do that because then it's gone. Luckily, I do this every day, so I got lots to choose from. All right, so this is now my new assistant that I created. Once I have this, the last thing I wanted to show you was inside more options. I showed you temperature, but notice here it says max output tokens. If you are in a very verbose use case, like describing to someone, I don't know, a report of some kind, you might want to limit the output tokens for this exercise so you don't burn a bunch of tokens sending tons of data back in an answer. Usually this is true for, again, industries like legal, tax, the ones that'll go into a legal code and pull back a ton of information and send that back to the client. This will allow you to restrict how long your answers are. So this is a token optimization technique to make sure you don't burn a bunch of money on verbose, long-winded instructions. As a matter of fact, in my context engineer, in my prompt, at the end, I will always say 3 things. 1, I will tell it, do not tell lies and source everything you say. So I will always ask it to provide the source of where it got the information it's providing in an answer. The second thing I will tell it, so that's do not tell lies and source everything. The second thing I will tell it, I'm trying to think like why I was going to tell you that. The second thing I will tell it is to be concise. And I think I say don't be long-winded. And that's because the model is inadvertently going to use every token that it has. So I don't want that to be the case. I will use this to control it, but I also can tell the model, do this quickly. Say this concisely. If you don't, and it has 300 tokens to use, what's in the best interest of that vendor? That you use them all. So tell the model to, and again, maybe that's not good for your use case. Maybe you want it to be verbose, but if you don't, be aware you control everything about how this model behaves. So tell it, be short-winded. I also tell it to move quickly. So I will be like, be concise and move quickly to get an answer. And the last thing that I will tell it is that I always tell the model to act, basically, I think the way I position it in the last line is always do this in the most safe and responsible way. And that will predispose the agent to doing things more safely. Meaning, if there is an unsafe way to do it, the model, if not given any options, it will take the easiest route, like humans. It's really very much like the way we trained it is the way we act. And so you want to provide guidance that says, you know what, I appreciate you trying to do this, but that would be breaking the law, and I would, instead maybe not do that and do it the long way if it's going to require you to stay within the boundaries of our core values as an organization or, the law. I only say that because I have been in lots of conversations recently with lawyers in the AI space specifically, and literally they said, they would talk to an audience like this. They're like, look left and then look right. Everybody you looked at is either going to be sued by someone who used your AI, or you will sue the person for using their AI in the next 5 years. Every single person in that room. Now, granted, I was at MIT, so it was a special audience, but still, I was like, that's intense. It's very interesting, especially if you're one of those people who think legalistically or linearly. It's a very interesting time. But the good news is you can avoid it all if you just tell the model what to do. All right, so that is the process is the same no matter what tool you use. We will now take about 30 minutes to build that solution. Your goal is to get it running. So let me just show you what that looks like. Once this is up, I'm gonna say continue, not disconnect. And you will now have the ability to test it. And so testing the model typically is, well, I just want to scroll down so you can see a little bit of the other options that you have available, which are a lot. But testing the model is actually going to happen inside of the tools section. And don't worry, we're going to be walking around. I just want you to see it once. So when you get to the stage, you'll be like, okay, I remember you were here somewhere. What do I do next? But inside the tool section, of course, I changed my account, but you will have access to this. So if you go to the tool section, give us a holler when you get there, and I will show you how to demo the system. Hopefully you'll be there in the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but let us know. Go ahead, get to work, start building, and I will switch apps. Thank you. Let's go.